Have you ever walked through the seafood aisle, stopped in front of a tray of icy shellfish, and noticed that some packages say shrimp while others proudly label themselves prawns, and wondered if there's any real difference between them? Maybe you've even ordered a dish at a restaurant thinking you knew exactly what you were getting, only for the server to bring out something that looked suspiciously bigger, or smaller, or completely different. If you've ever felt confused, don't worry, everyone has. These two names get mixed together all the time, and depending on where you live, they might even refer to the exact same creature. But despite looking like twins at first glance, shrimp and prawns do have differences, and some of them are surprisingly important. Today, we're diving deep into the world beneath the surface to uncover what truly sets them apart, biologically, culinarily, and culturally. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what's actually on your plate the next time you order seafood. If we're going to separate shrimp from prawns, we need to look beneath the shell, literally. Both are crustaceans, distant cousins of crabs and lobsters, but they belong to completely different branches of the crustacean family tree. Shrimp fall under the suborder Plesiosaemata, while prawns belong to Dendrobranchiata. Those names may sound straight out of a biology exam you tried to forget years ago, but they hint at real structural differences in how these creatures breathe, move, and even grow. Prawns have branching gills, almost tree-like in shape, while shrimp have plate-shaped gills. It's a detail you'll never see unless you're a marine biologist or peeling one under a microscope, but it's one of the core distinctions. The more obvious difference lies in their body shape. Shrimp have a pronounced curve to their bodies, almost like a gentle C shape. If you look closely at their abdomen, the second plate overlaps the first and third, creating a layered, interlocking pattern. Prawns, on the other hand, are a little tidier in design. Their body plates overlap one after another in a clean staircase formation. It gives them a slightly straighter posture compared to shrimp. And if you've ever held raw prawns in your hand, you may have noticed something else. They tend to have bigger front claws, not just on one pair of legs but on three. Shrimp typically have enlarged pincers on only one pair. It's a small clue, but if you've ever wondered what you're holding, that's one way to tell. But these creatures aren't just separated by anatomy, they divide themselves by where they choose to live. Shrimp tend to dominate saltwater habitats, oceans, coastal bays, and estuaries teeming with life. They thrive in brackish environments where rivers meet the sea. Prawns, meanwhile, are more commonly found in freshwater environments. Lakes, rivers, and rice paddies across Southeast Asia and India are full of them. This doesn't mean it's a perfect rule. Some prawns live in saltwater, and some shrimp have adapted to fresh water, but globally speaking, shrimp are ocean wanderers while prawns are more likely to spend their lives in rivers and lakes. Geography also shapes how we talk about them. In North America, the word shrimp is the go-to term for almost everything, big or small, freshwater or saltwater, true shrimp or not. If it looks like a shrimp, Americans call it a shrimp. In places like the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, the word prawn is much more common. People there will say prawn sandwich, prawn curry, and prawn cocktail, even when the species is technically a shrimp. It gets even more amusing when marketing enters the picture. An oversized shrimp might be labeled as a prawn just because the word sounds fancier. So if you've ever felt confused ordering seafood in another country, you're definitely not alone. Now, let's talk about what actually matters to most people: taste. The truth is, shrimp and prawns taste remarkably similar. Both carry that sweet, ocean-kissed flavor that works beautifully in everything from scampi to stir fries. But some chefs swear they can tell the difference. Prawns, especially the larger species, are often described as slightly sweeter and firmer. Shrimp are sometimes viewed as a little more tender, a bit more delicate in texture. But let's be honest, most of the difference comes down to species, not whether it's technically a shrimp or a prawn. Cooking method plays a bigger role than taxonomy ever will. Grill it, boil it, sauté it, or fry it, and your taste buds will focus more on seasoning and freshness than on its scientific classification. In blind taste tests, most people can't tell them apart consistently. A prawn curry in India might taste identical to a shrimp curry in Louisiana simply because the spices and cooking techniques dominate the flavor. That's why when people argue about which one tastes better, you can usually bet they're comparing size or cooking style, not biology. Culture also plays a huge role in how these creatures show up on our plates. In the United States, shrimp are everywhere, grilled at summer cookouts, boiled for seafood boils, tucked into tacos, wrapped in bacon, tossed into pasta, or served alongside cocktail sauce at holiday parties. Prawns appear too, but the name tends to be used when restaurants want the dish to sound more high-end or exotic. Garlic butter prawns just hits differently compared to garlic butter shrimp, even if the actual ingredient is the same species. In the UK and Australia, prawns reign supreme. They show up in sandwiches, salads, curries, and backyard barbecues. The famous Aussie phrase, "throw another shrimp on the barbie," is actually a tagline from an ad targeting Americans. Locals would never say shrimp. In Southeast Asia, prawns are prized in curries, stir-fries, and soups. Freshwater prawns grow big, really big, which makes them perfect for grilling whole, shells and all, to lock in flavor. Their slightly firmer bite stands up well to bold seasonings and slow-cooked sauces. But here's the catch: labeling isn't consistent. What one grocery store calls a prawn might technically be a shrimp. Importers, fisheries, and restaurants often use the terms based on size rather than species. So when you're shopping, your best bet isn't the name on the tag, it's the size, the freshness, and the recipe you're planning. Whether the package says shrimp or prawns, your dish will be amazing if the seafood is fresh and the cooking is right. From a nutritional standpoint, these two are practically identical. They're both incredible sources of lean protein, delivering plenty of vitamins and minerals without packing on calories. Vitamin B12, iodine, phosphorus, and omega-3 fatty acids are all found in both. They're low in fat and rich in nutrients that support brain function, thyroid health, and heart wellness. The one thing people often worry about is cholesterol. Yes, both shrimp and prawns contain cholesterol, but decades of research now show that dietary cholesterol from lean seafood doesn't impact heart disease risk the way people once thought. What matters more is how you prepare them. Shrimp deep fried in thick batter is going to be a very different nutritional story than prawns grilled with lemon and herbs. So which one should you choose, shrimp or prawns? The real answer is, choose whatever fits your recipe, your taste, and your budget. If you want something meaty for grilling, a large freshwater prawn is perfect. If you're making shrimp for heaters, shrimp is the natural choice. In most kitchens, the two can be swapped without issues. Most of the time, you'll never notice the difference unless you're intentionally trying to compare them. Freshness, species, size, and sourcing matter far more than the name. What's fascinating is how something so small can inspire so much confusion. Shrimp and prawns have been part of human diets for thousands of years, appearing in ancient recipes and cultural traditions around the world. Yet even today, people still debate what counts as what. But now that you know the biological distinctions, the habitat differences, the cultural naming quirks, and the culinary roles each one plays, you have a clearer picture than most seafood shoppers. So the next time you're at the store and someone beside you mumbles, "Aren't shrimp and prawns the same thing?" you'll know exactly how to answer. And if you decide to impress them with your newfound knowledge of abdominal plate structures and branching gills, well, that part is up to you. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of shrimp and prawns. If you have ideas for future videos or curious questions about the everyday things we overlook, drop them in the comments below. You might just get a shout out in a future episode. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the simplest details.